Sis Savan and Phyllis Song, who are entrepreneurs, wealth and freedom coaches, and the creators of the Dream Life, Dream Business movement. While running an 8-figure business, they are living their dream life, traveling the world, living life on their terms, and showing others what's possible when business is designed to serve life.
Today is all about life first, and then how do you build a business to fund and fuel your life.
We are here to help you build a better life so that your children can also live in a better world.
Most people live an or life, and I believe that we believe that the dream life is about having an and life.
I can have all of them instead of just picking one at a time.
This is your map, and your map is what Tony taught me way back in the days is your massive action plan. And day one, which is today, is all about live your dream life, right? Living your dream life is about awakening your vision. Living your old life will cost you your dream life. And that is where we call a designed life. A designed life that says, I design my life first, and then I'm gonna build a business to fund and fuel it. That's when we realize, oh my God, time is the most valuable resource, the most valuable thing that we actually own, because we don't get more of it. You bring the fire, we'll bring the framework. Yesterday, we identified the destination of your dream life. Today, we activate your true identity and lean into your dream self, the person who gets to live it. Day two was about love your dream self. You have to love your dream self in order to activate your true identity. Today, we start with the 3 levels of being, because today is about your dream self. And if you lean into your dream self, this is now faith. The formula for happiness is where your external life conditions, your external reality, your results of your life actually match your internal desires.
Actually, most pieces, I would say 70 to 80%, if we work on you, everything else will grow. I promise you that.
Your dream self is not someone you become. It is who you surrender back to be. Today, we are here to amplify your income. This is about building a business that is a palace, not a prison. I at least recognize the pattern, and I utilize the pattern to create a new pattern.
Actually, most pieces, I would say 70 to 80%, if we work on you, everything else will grow. I promise you that.
They have
December 2019, after 14 years running my business the wrong way, I realized that as a leader of my business, as an entrepreneur, it's not that I needed to do more. What I needed was to lead and leverage more. And that's why today's topic, do everything yourself and stay broke, or delegate and grow rich, matters. And doing everything yourself keeps your business small. Delegating multiplies your income, your impact, as well as your freedom. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do you delegate the right way? How do you automate the right way? And how do you leverage the right programs and people and processes so that you can actually scale, right? Not just run a business to thrive, not just run a business to actually survive. So welcome to the Anywhere Entrepreneur Live. Again, we are all about the freedompreneur way, the freedom to live, to work, to earn from anywhere in the world. I am actually tuning in today from Malaysia in our new home, our new office that we just actually built here. We are now doing our Asia tour. We'll be back in the US mid-September, where we go back to an event called Funnel Hacking Live and with our Inner Circle family and Russell Brunson, and then we'll be back in the US running our business there. But right now we're in Asia. So let us know if you're actually here live with us. Let us know where you're actually tuning in from. We definitely genuinely interested where you're actually logging in from. And then hopefully this content here today, this topic helps you delegate more. So you can actually learn how to delegate, learn how to automate, learn how to leverage. And we're going to take you kind of behind the scenes of how we actually do it as well. Okay, so again, if this video connects with you, comment your biggest takeaways, as well as share with us kind of where you're at, and in terms of delegation, what's getting in the way of you actually delegating. We are genuinely interested in knowing, and hopefully this helps you close that gap between where you are to where you actually want to go. Okay, and then if you like this video as well as subscribe, we definitely that would help out the algorithms quite a bit, and it also will help us and deliver more value to you, because again, we will not let you down. The goal here is to continuously make our content better and better and better every single week. Okay, so again, comment, like, and subscribe. Okay, so type in the word delegate as well if you're ready to stop doing it all yourself and start growing rich, right? So the very first lesson is, this is what I did. So I hired our very first virtual assistants team in 2010. And how I actually started to delegate more to people, and actually, one of the biggest issues that we have is control, right? And we always think that everything has to be done by us. If everything you want done perfectly or done right, it's got to be done by you, right? So the very first thing I actually did was I took a list of everything that I was doing, big and small. I listed everything down, right? Creating PowerPoint presentations, checking emails, following up with the client, sending out, contracts, sending out order forms, whatever it is that I did, I literally listed them down. Okay, so that's the very first thing you do. And then once you do that, what you want to start doing is actually putting a dollar figure on next to every single task, right? And what you're going to end up finding out is that there's some tasks in there that are high impact, high influence, high income generating activities. And then what you want to do is you want to circle those and then move them to one side of the sheet, right? And leaving the rest on, let's say, the left side, just like what I did. The left side was everything that I did. And then I circled the ones that were really high impact, high influence, high income generating activities, and I moved them to the right. And which ones are those? You have to look at it this way. If you're looking to build a 7-figure business and you're working 40 hours a week and for 50 weeks out of the year, that means that if you looked at how much you're actually worth by the hour, you're actually worth $500 per hour. So what I started doing was anything that was $500 per hour activities where I was making offers, for example, or I was marketing, where I was doing follow-ups. I was on calls with clients. I was, having meetings with clients or responding to clients, right? Having doing meaningful conversations. And ultimately, anything that had to do with marketing, lead generation, selling, and follow-up, and servicing or supporting the clients, all those are high impact, high income activities that are worth more than $500 per hour. So that's what I started doing. And everything else on that list, I either did 3 things. You'll find that once you do this, in the list, there's going to be 4 categories once you do this list. The very first category is there are things on that list that you should delete. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. Doesn't serve your business. So that's the first thing. You start creating a delete list from the main list, right? And then you look at that main list again with dollar figures next to them. There's also going to be a second list where you can delay certain tasks. And the reason why you want to delay them is because you might have some, you might lack the clarity to say, is this something that should be done by me, or is this something that I should delegate? And if it's unclear, you can move it to a delay list, and the delay list says it's important right now. It's important. It needs to stay on your list. It doesn't get deleted yet unless you find out that it may need to be deleted later. But the reason why it's delayed because it's important, but it's not vital. It doesn't have to be done right now. The decision does not have to be done right now. That keep it on your list, or do you do it, or does somebody else do it? It does not have to be decided on right now. That's why it's on the delay list. We'll revisit it, okay? And then the third list is your delegate list. These are things you're for sure know that they are important. They are also vital. They need to get done, right? But they just don't need to be done by you, right? They're $10 tasks, $15 tasks. They're not $500 task activities, so they still need to be done, but they need to be delegated to somebody else. Okay, and then the fourth list is your do list, right? This is things that only you and only you should be doing because they make your company and you the most amount of money. They create the most amount of impact, right? And they're north of that $500 per hour mark. Whatever your dollar figure is, whatever you want to make annually, just take that divided by 40 hours a week and 50 hours per year. Assuming you take 2 weeks off, then you'll know what you're worth. Well, how many dollars per hour you actually worth. Okay. So again, your first thing you do is create that list, right? Put a dollar figure on it, and then create your delete things that don't serve you or your company. Second is your delay list. These are you don't have clarity whether this should stay on your list, whether you should be doing this, whether this should be delegated so that it stays on your delay list until you revisit it. And then third is your delegate list. This is definitely things that are important and vital that need to be done, but it just does not need to be done by you. It needs to be done by somebody else. That's why it's on your delegate list. And then you create a do list, which only you and you should be doing because they make you the most amount of money, okay, and make the most amount of impact. So that's the first thing you do, okay? Create your list, put a dollar figure on it, and create your delete, delay, delegate, and do list, okay? And then second is hire a team, right? I would recommend, because we have done it for the last 16 years now, is hire virtual assistants. Our virtual assistants, our team is actually from the Philippines. We love the Philippines. People, you can hire virtual assistants from a lot of different countries. We just chose the Philippines because one, work ethics. There's alignment there in terms of they're hard workers. Second is they don't just show up to work for a paycheck. Not all, but most of them. They show up for work because most of the time they are the leaders of their family. They're the breadwinners. They're the people who kind of provide for the family. Sometimes most of the household actually has 3 generations. Got the grandma, got the father, and them, and sometimes even their kids, maybe four generations, right? 3 to 4 generations, and most of the time they are the person who actually takes care of a lot of things in their household. So they show up differently instead of just showing up for a paycheck or for money. So that's one of the 2 ways. And the third is they get the culture, right? The most of our clients are in the U.S. And we operate in the U.S. as well, and some in Asia as well. But they get the culture, right? They get the fact that they're reporting to somebody who is a leader of their business, that's running their business, and they're there just to show up and basically complete the owner, right? Complete the manager, whoever's managing them or whoever owns the business, and they're doing the things that they are not good at, right? And they won't do the things that the owner and the manager is really good at, right? Because they can't. They just show up to do the task. They're an expert at the thing that they happen to be an expert in, whether it be social media or video editing or systems creation, or they're doing creatives, or running ads, or writing copy, whatever that is. They're just an expert at that thing, right? That's it. So then hire a team, right? So that's the second thing is hire your virtual assistants team, okay? And then third is automate as much as you possibly can. Automate processes where possible, especially in the marketing, the lead generation, and the selling side. So here's how we do it. I do long form content every week. I do a live stream just like this every single week. Second is I do a long form video that I give to my team every single week, one long form that I record offline. And then third is I do podcasting as well. And just by doing that, then I basically can just hand that off to my team, and my team takes it from there, right? Automation for marketing would look like they would take that pretty long form. They would turn that into blogs and newsletters. They would turn them into podcasting. They would turn them into trailers and reels and shorts. They would also turn them into ads, organic content on our social medias, and basically take the long form and cutting them down to short form and repurposing them and then redistributing them into all of our social medias, right? So I've automated my marketing that way. Lead generation, you can also automate. You can get and create something for your audience to actually opt into, something for them to read, to listen, to watch. For example, we have our VSLs, our mini courses that we actually record. And if I share something on marketing, connects with people, they can actually click and opt in to get this thing of value, right, for free, like a 45-minute or 60-minute free training that we actually make. So you can automate that as well. So they opt in for that, right? And then you can also automate your sales as well. So after watching our VSLs or our mini course, we then make an offer. We make an offer which allows us to actually automate our sales as well, where we actually make money while we sleep. That VSL actually makes an offer for anybody who's watching our VSL. They actually make an offer to actually buy a ticket to our challenge, right? So by the time that me and my wife show up to our challenge, which we run every single month, these are already paid clients. They're in the room with us. They've already paid to be there. And everything else, the marketing, the lead generation, and the selling is already automated by the time that we get in the room with them, by the time they're actually in the room with us, they are already a paid client, right? So automate as much as you possibly can. And then the fourth is leverage, especially nowadays, leverage AI as much as you possibly can as well, right? And leverage programs, not just AI. For example, we run, I do a lot of my recordings on Riverside, for example, right? That's how I leverage it. Why? Because I can shoot a live like this, or I can shoot a long form video like this, or do my podcast on there, and Riverside will be able to take that and turn them into what they call magic clips, can turn them into shorts automatically from that. So if I do like something like a 45-minute or an hour long podcast, I'll get like 10 or 11 shorts from that, right? And shorts and reels, and that we can use on YouTube or Facebook, or any of our social medias. And then they'll take they'll create these these 2.5 to 5 minute trailers for us, Instagram snapshots. So automatically create it. And, I'm just using that as an example of leveraging programs that are readily out there for you, so that you don't have to just record on Zoom like how I used to before. And then my team would then go and create all that stuff. Well, if I leverage programs like Riverside, it creates a lot of this stuff for us already, right? So that's the four things. Okay. So the very first thing is, how do you delegate? Either do everything yourself and stay broke, or delegate and grow rich, right? So four things is, one is create your task, your to-do list, put a dollar figure next to it, and then from there create your delete list, delete things that don't serve you or your company. Create your delay list, things that are important but not vital. Create your delegate list, things that are important and vital. They need to get done. They just should not be done by you. And then create your do list, which are things north of that dollar figure that you have, identified as your dollars per hour, what you're actually worth. Okay. Second is hire virtual assistants, virtual assistants team to actually delegate to. In your market, you may need some local employees. For example, one of our clients is, they have 2 or 3 local employees and about 10 VAs, but they need the local employees as well, because one of them's a project manager, the other one's a sales manager, right? The other one's head of marketing. So they have a local team there, and those local teams actually who manages the VAs to do all the tasks, right? So you can have a combination of 2 teams. Third is automate as much as you possibly can. So automate your marketing, automate your lead generation, automate your selling, so that by the time you get in the room with your clients, they're already a paid client, right? And then fourth is leverage programs, leverage AI, leverage as much as you possibly can out there, so that you don't have to create things from scratch, like how we used to do, where we record everything on Zoom, and then our team would actually have to create everything from scratch. Okay, so your implementation from this is, again, make your own list. Make your list on everything, big and small, right? List on everything that you actually do. Put a dollar figure on it. Put your delete, delay, delegate, and do list. Second is look at hiring a team, right? How do you delegate some of these tasks to, how do you actually delegate that? And then identify who you need to actually hire, right, to delegate to. Okay. And then third is look at automating your business as much as you possibly can. Because other than that, if you're not doing that, then everything kind of relies on you. And then fourth, look at all the readily available programs and AIs out there that you can actually leverage, okay, to actually grow your business. Okay, so cool. If you want some guided support on how to actually build a team of VAs, how we've actually done it, we now have worked with our virtual assistants for the last 16 years. We turned into an offer in 2020 to other businesses. So we have an agency as well that we help find, hire, onboard, train virtual assistants for our clients as well. We placed over 3,000 VAs over the last 6 years. And then we have our own internal team that works for us, about 50 agents. And then we have our agency has about almost 400 agents that actually work within it, right? So if you want to learn how we did that, how do we automate as well our business? How do we actually scale without working 24 hours, 7 days a week? There's a link below that you can actually join our Time Rich Masterclass. It's where we actually will walk you through this, as well as how to not only just delegate, automate, and leverage, but how do you, if you're starting something new, how do you actually create your offer? How do you market it? How do you generate leads? How do you sell? If you're interested in selling one to many, if you're interested in automated selling where you can make money while you actually sleep, then the Time Rich Masterclass is for you. So click on the link below and we will see you there. Okay. So, all right. So next live, I am actually going to be diving into a topic that I generally really love. There's a book written by Bronnie Ware. The book is called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, right? And the title for next week is Bronnie Ware's Top 5 Regrets of the Dying meets the 5 steps to avoid them. She helped people transition, and she started interviewing these people and found these 5, regrets of the dying as they're making the transition. What they regretted in their life, right? Wasn't the things that they did; it was the things that they did not do, right? And then I'm going to share with you the 5 steps to actually avoid them for yourself, and you're going to identify most likely you're living in some capacity, one of those, or even more of the regrets right now. And I want to make sure that that you don't leave this world living with regret. Okay, so because once you know how to build a team and systems, the next step is making sure your business and life are aligned so you don't leave opportunities or freedom on the table. Okay, so for those of you who are joining us at our Time Rich Masterclass, we will see you there. For those of you who are joining us on our next live, we will see you next week. Stay blessed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The new currency is about demonstrating authenticity.
And our job, I think, is to really help our clients feed their focus and starve their distraction.